Hello everybody and welcome to another Victoria 3 Developer Diary. First of all, I just want to say sorry for this video being out a bit later than usual. I get these videos on Wednesday evenings with the aim to get the videos out on Thursday evenings as the Dev Diary goes live. Unfortunately, I wasn't really in the right kind of headspace to make a video on Wednesday evening. Little bit preoccupied with the whole Ukraine thing. So yeah, I'm making the video now. So there you go. You getting it now? It's a little bit late. Sorry for that. Let's get it to the bloody video. Let's go. Yeah. It's going to be on expeditions and decisions. So let's see what we have to look forward to in that. Good evening and welcome back to another Victoria 3 Developer Diary. Today we'll talk about two topics that are intrinsically connected: expeditions and decisions. Expeditions, I can obviously see why they would be linked to decisions, because it'd be a decision to go on an expedition. But I would argue that, or I would think that not all decisions are expeditions, but all expeditions are decisions, kind of thing. So yeah, this is connected, this intrinsically, but I wouldn't say it's true the other way around. Hopefully. The Victorian Age was also the age of exploration. Campaigns were sent to explore the farther territories of the world and discover their hidden mysteries. Scholars turned their attention to uncharted territories, and promises of glory and fortune, not misfortune. Numerous papers and conferences were produced on behalf of science, and this era set the foundations for modern studies. But these expeditions were not without peril. Many failed, and not all of them returned. This we also wanted to represent. In Victoria 3, you'll be able to take a decision to go on an expedition if you fulfill the requisites for it, namely having an interest in the region and, sometimes, a special technology. For instance, exploring the African rivers without protection against malaria might not be the greatest idea. Apart from that, any country can decide to embark on this adventurous enterprise. So, Dr. Livingstone, I presume? He has the expedition to find the source of the Nile. The center of the African continent holds the secret to the source of the Nile. Beautiful. That had to be there. That is the quintessential explorer. It's Ian Livingstone. I'm not going to make an ass of myself by saying Dr. Ian Livingstone. Pretty sure. I probably should have looked it up before I did the video, but whatever, we're going with it. He is the quintessential explorer, right? If you can't really think of, exploration in this period without him being the one that you think about, But we also have there the Congo River Expedition and something exhibition, whatever that exhibition is that we can just sort of see a little bit of. But what is a decision? A decision is a specific option that you can take when you meet the requirements, thus triggering an important or special event. They don't require any completion conditions because you'll only be able to take them once you've already met those. Some decisions will allow you to go on an expedition, like in this case, but many others trigger historical events, like the Grand Exhibition. Yeah, I suppose that could totally be Grand Exhibition. Or the decision to build the canals that we saw last week. Some, but not all, decisions will also add a journal entry, so you can track how the event is going, like the surveillance of the canals. Others just fire an immediate event because it's not an ongoing circumstance, so you get to see immediate results. So, the decision to trigger the Grand Exhibition will give you a journal entry and a countdown to make it as great as you can. You can do so by special exhibition events, going on expeditions to retrieve important artifacts, or by researching new technologies that you can showcase to the world. Of course, we also take into consideration everything you've achieved up to that point, so you can still trigger the exhibition after having completed all the expeditions, and your findings will be taken into account and displayed. Beautiful. That's actually really cool. The holding the exhibitions was a thing in Victoria 2. It'd be strange to see it not be in Victoria 3. So, yeah, it makes sense. You need an arts academy. You need government administration of higher than level 10. Or, I wonder if that is, you need all of these or you need one of these. Do you need an arts academy and a university and an urban centre? It doesn't say any of the following. It's like, I imagine you might need all of them. Maybe? Who knows? Who knows? I mean, if it isn't, then this UI is a little bit iffy. Because you don't have any indication that you only need one of these three. Alright, this looks like you need all of them. But anyway, once you take an expedition decision, a starting event will trigger setting up the preparations for the journey. If you decide to go on with it, you'll be asked to choose a leader and a budget. Then a journal entry will be added to your game with a progress bar that indicates, well, the progress of the expedition. Also bear in mind that the leader's skills and traits may also play a part in the success of the group and how they face the events they encounter. A drunkard leader might delay your expedition while entering a nervous breakdown because they miss their addiction, or they could even lose their vice. Or maybe they find a lot of alcohol somewhere, who knows? The expedition journal entry will keep track of your advances with a progress bar, and will trigger different ending events depending on your results. A high progress means a successful expedition, while getting a high peril before reaching the end means a more grim completion event, regardless of your progress. That's really cool. That's really, really cool. Having both, progress bar and, like, high peril is kind of interesting. It honestly feels very Crusader Kings, if you will. This is super, like, roleplay. Unlike in Victoria 3, it was like, oh, do you want to send an expedition to find the source of the Nile? Here, click this button, and then you've got, you spend a bunch of money, and maybe you win the race to the source of the Nile, and maybe you don't. Who knows? But that was it. You just had an event, and then you waited, and you had an event. Actually, I think it was a decision to start it. I can't remember. But yeah, this is way more involved. This is one of the areas that, it's somewhat of a trivial nothing in Victoria 2, but it turned into a whole mechanic, which is, I like it. I like that. Expeditions use two main variables, progress and peril. When you reach high enough progress, the expedition will complete successfully. However, a high peril will mean that the expedition may be lost or even die. You're even able to control how these variables progress through your decisions during the expedition events. Every month you'll receive an update on how your expedition is doing, where you'll act as their leader and choose how they should proceed. Sometimes, however, the expedition will go on peacefully, and you'll receive a progress event instead that increases both your progress and peril by 1 point. You'll also get an updated map location of where your expedition is at the moment, so that you can see them advance or not. I kind of hope that the thing that you see on the map is, all those maps where it's, you got like the dotted line and the X at the end of it. I kind of hope that's what we see. I'm not going to lie, that would be pretty cool. If an expedition fails, you can repeat it as many times as needed, and you may even encounter a lost leader or find out about the fate of the last group. However, once you complete one, you cannot go on the same expedition again. This is what happened when finding the source of the Nile, right? I'm pretty sure that was. Oh, what? Now, this is something I learned a long time ago, and I may be mixing this up with a completely separate incident. But if I remember rightly, Dr. Livingston, did he catch malaria and he was recovering in a village somewhere, south of Egypt, obviously searching for the source of the Nile, and then he was found by another British explorer that went in from where like Benin is and crossed that way, maybe going up the Congo River potentially. Like I say, this is very, very like, oh, you learned this in secondary school or high school if you're American. That's this is 15-year-old teaching that I paid very little attention to back then. Isn't that what happened? We sent another expedition, and was it an American that found him? Oh, I'm gonna have to look this up after I finish this video. I'm pretty sure I'm right. I think it was an American that found him. Oh, you know what? I can't remember. Either way, let's move on. Some expeditions have special mechanics. For example, in the Antarctic expedition, you'll want to reach the pole before your competitors, so you may feel inclined to take riskier options to ensure that you get there soon. You may also find traces of previous lost expeditions. You can always take advantage of the resources left behind. There's also the possibility of finding a previous expedition that you'd already sent and failed to come back, not only in Antarctica. However, the state in which you find them may vary. There is a limited amount of available expeditions that we have added to the game, all of them inspired by the most famous campaigns of the Victorian Age, the African rivers, the North American trails, and Antarctica. Surviving always has a high price, especially in the most dangerous latitudes. Oh, you're going to eat the... Okay, fine. We're not going to read that one out. We're not going to talk about eating dogs. And here we have an example of a special event that gives you something for your expedition. Sorry, exhibition. Those words far too close for my liking. At the cost of delaying your expedition, since the first option gives you no progress. So, during your travels you may find animals that you've never seen before, and with adequate technology, you'll be able to photograph or even film them. That's kind of cool. I like it. That's 20 prestige. That's kind of awesome. Of course, completing a successful expedition will leave your nation a prestigious reputation, and will definitely help its leader's popularity, but, as you can see here, there are many other benefits of going around and exploring the world, like getting brand new materials for your expeditions. Exhibitions, god damn it. So remember to choose carefully your expedition and its leader, and keep an eye out for peril while trying not to get left behind. That's all for today. Right, so next week we have construction. Oh, I'm actually very interested in this one. Yeah, that was a good dev diary. It was a good dev diary. I kind of like that they're really expanding this part of the game that was just an event before. So that's really cool. That's really awesome. I hope that just like in the HPM or HFM, I can't remember which one, maybe it's both, who knows, mod for Victoria 2, whoever finds the source of the Nile first gets to name it after their monarch. That would be dope. So instead of it being Lake Victoria, it could be Lake, I don't know, Lake frickin' Napoleon, or Lake, I don't know. Lake Bismarck. That'd be funny. No, but that kind of thing would be like really cool. I know Bismarck wasn't the leader. Just don't. It's fine. Don't worry about it. I think that would be really cool, and I would like to see that. Let's have a look at the comments from the developers. So, is national unification a decision, a journal entry, or both? Neither. It's more on that another time. Are there flavor decisions for countries, or is it replaced by journal entries? What sort of decisions can we expect? Is it EV4 style? There are a few country-specific decisions. One I wrote the other day allows Japan to change its state relation to Shinto if the emperor has been restored to power, although we try to keep the focus of content on journal entries. Good evening, perfect and very good Dev Diary. I have a few questions. Will expeditions be fully moddable? Can he create new expeditions? Can he add mechanics such as the ones he mentioned for Antarctica? So expeditions are extremely moddable. The progress and peril mechanics are behind the scenes, just ordinary variables, which shows you how much you can be done with the fundamental tools of the scripting language. How will decisions be moddable? Can they be used for something other than expeditions to trigger events like the other Paradox games such as CK Hoi or EU, for example? You can absolutely use decisions to trigger events. Use decisions to trigger events, add journal entries, set variables, apply modifiers, and just about anything else you can think to do with this scripting language. The Alaska Purchase decision, for instance, immediately fires an event. And finally, does the game have some sort of terra incognita like EU4? It would add a lot of flavor, plus it would be a very nice tool for mods. There is no terra incognita. No, that's fair. That's fine. Internal Africa would be like the only place where that makes sense. So I'm kind of fine with it not being there. The shape of the world and its political players are largely known quantity by 1836. We didn't feel it would be an especially relevant mechanic for Victoria 3. Yeah, if it's just Africa that has that, like just the internals of it as well, that's not good gameplay. I'm totally fine with that not being a thing. But anyway, that is today's developer diary. and the comments. So that was, it was nice. I like what we've seen. I think it is very interesting. I am looking forward to seeing what other journal entries and decisions there are. And hopefully we'll beat the Norwegians to find the fucking South Pole. That'd be pretty dope. So thank you all very much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this latest Victoria 3 developer diary on decisions and expeditions. And until next time, Slava Ukraini.